Nigeria has recorded another church collapse. There was one just about 2 years ago in which over 100 people died, and now there is another one in which close to 200 people have died. At some point, Christians have to sit down and ask themselves, what is Christianity really about? Should it be a way for pastors to make quick money? Or should it be a way to dupe members of the congregation into thinking that the only way that they can get to heaven is for them to bring money to the church? There was definitely no reason for this event to be happening in an uncompleted building, but then it did, and so many people are dead. The questions that need to be asked are many. One of them is, why should a sitting governor of a state, as happened here in Akwa Ibom, why should he have been in that church in an uncompleted building with a pastor who was there for what seemed like a self-aggrandizement act of to be consecrated as a bishop? Does that mean that it is these pastors who now call the shots in Nigeria? If the pastor was there knowing that the building was not completed and the governor, who has a responsibility to protect members of his state, went in there and was actually participating in this event, then there are many questions to be raised. And those questions shall be answered. It's not enough for the governor to say now that he's going to investigate what happened. He should have known what happened. It happened on his watch, and he's lucky to get out. And one of the sad parts of this is that the same pastor who now, by the time that by today, is probably now a so-called bishop, is going to tell more lies, is going to blame the devil, is going to use the Bible to spin this, and people are going to believe him, and his followership is probably even going to increase because he's most likely going to get more members. So I think that one question that also needs to be asked is how well and how vast are Nigerians today in the knowledge of the scriptures? Shouldn't they actually be thinking of what the Bible actually says so that they can learn to follow God instead of following man? But here is what I think. If you're watching this and you're a pastor, and if you're watching this and you're a pastor, you should be asking yourself, am I really doing the will of God? And if you're not a pastor, you should be asking yourself, who am I following and calling a man of God? Now those people are dead, very sadly, and I mourn them. I also ask that everyone in Nigeria right now should be mourning those people instead of running back to church and blaming the devil. And let us remember that those people who died were there because they were drawn in by one man who wanted praise and wanted fame. He has the fame, he has the money, and now what? Who is going to take care of the families of those people who died?